fight that's coming up, because I was young once too. And nature is smarter than people think. Little by little we lose our friends, we lose everything. We keep losing and losing till we say, you know, what the hell am I living around here for? I got no reason to go on.
I am confused. Good. Confusion is a part of life. As I mentioned, fear and love, all facets must be embraced. For then, and only then, will you break through the wall of mystery to the glow.
Yeah, man. What up?
We're here with my boy Sup 12 Rounds podcast, man.
Yeah, we in here, man. You know what I'm saying? Superior One, X'd Out Music. How you doing?
For sure, man. So let's get right into this, man. You're from Salinas, California, man. You come up here from Idaho, or from Salinas to Idaho.
Yep.
Doing your thing, man. Let's hear a little bit of your backstory about, from Salinas, man.
Yeah. So, I've been out there, you know what I'm saying? Salinas, California. Grew up with all my friends and family out there. I was originally born in Santa Maria, California, but came out, started rapping 91, 92, 13, 14 years old. Was always reciting other people's raps, and a lot of my friends and family were like, man, you need to start writing your own. You do good impersonations of all the artists out there. You need to start writing your own raps and getting your own story out there. So picked up the mic, man, and now we here, 24 albums out, X'd Out Music, been rapping, got albums out online worldwide. We got downloads overseas. We doing shows state to state. Do tons of collaborations with artists, locally owned and independent, so we out here moving.
Yeah. One thing, man, I want to get into with you too is X'd Out Music. Your logo is so dope, bro.
Thank you.
Let's get a little backstory on X'd Out Music and how, what that logo means and how y'all came up with that.
Yeah, so X'd Out Music, shout out to Noy. Noy ended up coming across some graphics that he put together. And basically has a parent standing with the child, and then there's an X over the kid, and he's holding the mic. So we represent the single. One of our first groups we came out was single parent home, and all members came from a single parent home. And we were told we're never going to be anything, never going to do anything, we're not going to amount to anything. So we took that as a challenge. So X'd Out Music, we represent the X'd Out generation of not having a chance, growing up in the ghetto, growing up around crime, drugs, gangs, and having to persevere through that life to be successful. And when we dropped that first album, Life It Ain't All Peaches and Cream, you can download that now. When we dropped that album, it tells our story of being youth in a high gang, high crime, high violent area, and us staying strong and persevering through that, staying positive and doing music, and music was what saved us. Music is what kept us all together, kept us out of trouble. And while other people were getting caught up with the cops and drugs and gangs, we were in the studio. So we were too busy laying down music to get in trouble.
Yeah.
So X'd Out Music represents that. And we, that X'd Out generation that are going to show the world that just because you come from poverty, just because you come from low income, Section 8, food stamps, you don't have to become a gangster. You don't have to become a drug dealer. You don't have to become a criminal. You can find ways to express yourself in positive manner, So, our music is actually a story of that as well. It's not all good, but it's not all bad. It's a balance, just like life itself, good and bad at the same time. So some people are going to like our music, some people ain't, but we do it for us. We do it for the people that love us. We do it for the people that support it. So, X'd Out Music, we're going to keep going,
Yeah. So, and we talked about this before, man, and I just wanted to, for the fans, of X'd Out Music and of Sup 1, to have a little bit more, insight of the depth of your whole journey. And I know you had some issues with the you were signed to a record label.
Yep, yeah.
A bunch of things happened that could have knocked you down, but tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah,
man.
So we were 19, 1998, me and my brother Jason, Mystery Child, rest in peace. We ended up getting signed to a local label out there in Cali, and everything was good. We had a manager, everything was good. We were gonna be, taken care of, and it was the right move at the right time. we had a DJ company we had started as Going Down with, and it was the 408 Family, West Coast Players, and a few other groups and artists that were a part of that company as Going Down Entertainment. And we ended up starting making some noise, and we ended up getting seen by a label. So we ended up saying, hey, this is the next step. Let's sign this deal. And sure enough, signed in 98. 2 years later, my brother Jason died, rest in peace. Tragically, mental health issues and committed suicide. But it kind of screwed my label, my deal up. I signed a 3-album deal with the label. We had 1 group album and I had 2 solo album deals. And sure enough, once that happened, I kind of got shelved. I ended up recording 3 albums worth of music that never came out. So sure enough, I ended up, getting caught up in contract and signing my licensing away, signing my royalties, my publishing, everything I basically signed away. And I had to learn the hard way. It was a bad experience, but at the same time, it was a great experience. Taught me a lot about the game, being on tour, doing those shows, concerts, being in those studios, working with managers, other artists, really taught me a lot in that 7 years. But due to the fact that my brother died, I ended up getting caught on that label for 7 years. And in the meantime, we were in the middle of, creating that X'd Out Music label. So thankfully, once I settled all my paperwork and business with that, we ended up going X'd Out Music, and we've been going strong ever since, So definitely a humbling experience. Advice to those artists out there that are quick to sign a contract. You better make sure you have your business in line, because it ain't a game. The music, rap, is fun until you get it caught up in the business part of it,
Yeah, man, the sharks in the water.
Sharks in the water. It's not a game,
For sure, man. And we've worked together for quite a few years now, and that's one of the things that we shared, is that we both lost a brother. And
Yep.
And like I was saying, I told the story because it took me down, man. I'm not gonna lie, it took me down. Freaking, I stopped doing music for like 2 years, man. And I talked about it on the show called Lowrider Vision about 10 years ago or whatever.
Okay.
And my brother came to me in a dream and said, "Hey, man, you got to keep going."
Keep going, yeah.
And if it wasn't for that, man, I probably wouldn't have had the strength to go through, man. So, hats off to you, brother, man, for knowing that you had to freaking keep on going and keep on doing your thing. You know what I mean? Because not all of us have the strength. Because just like I said, man, it easily knocked me out. You know what I mean? I got back in the ring, but
it's hard. It's hard.
It was a hard thing, brother, man. So, hats off to you for keeping up in the game like that, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And 24 albums, brother.
Yeah, I just had to keep going. I knew, so the day we at his funeral, I knew in my mind that I had no other choice but to keep going. When he had died and my music was gone, I became a solo artist. We had a group, and once I became a solo artist, I just knew that day that I had to keep putting music out. I had to prove him wrong for making the wrong choice. I had to show him that we were worth it. The music was worth it, because when he committed suicide, he gave up on everything. He gave up on me. He gave up on our music. He gave up on all our friends, all our fans. His girlfriend was pregnant. He gave up on his baby. Like I just couldn't believe it. So when that had happened, I knew that I was going to prove him wrong. And it started with 1 album, then it led to 5 led to 10 led to 20, and now we at 24. And it put a fire in me that probably can never be put out. I'm trying to make as much music as I can before I leave. And I'm trying to, share my story with the world. There's other people going through the similar things. And I just want to show people that, tragedy will bring greatness, and all the champions go through losses. You're not a true champion until you have those hard losses,
Sure.
and I just want to show that when you get knocked down, you got to get back up. 12 rounds, we go the distance. And, some people, it's easy to give up. Sometimes that's the easy part. That's the easy road. But I made sure that I kept going, and thank God I did, because now that I kept going, now I can provide for my family, my daughter, and ironically enough, my daughter was born on his birthday 11 years after he died. So, that's a blessing in itself. So I just know that there's a bigger cause, there's a bigger reason, and there's a why I'm here. There's a why that I'm putting out this music. There's a why that I have 24 albums, and I'm gonna be working on 24 more. Like, I ain't gonna stop, man.
Yeah, you even got your daughter on some of your tracks, huh?
Oh yeah,
X'd Out Music.
Yep, X'd Out Music. She does the little shout out, the little tag, X'd Out Music tag. Her and my nephew Benny Blanco.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
so
we put that on there. I got a song called "Am I American?" She does the national the Pledge of Allegiance on that track, and she even owns some royalties. She's executive producer on some of my albums, so so she's got her money coming in too.
A little business.
Yeah, exactly.
Already.
So she's getting paid, and this is my passion. This is my love. I do it for my family. My grandparents, rest in peace. They helped raise me. As I said, single parent home. My mom was a single parent. So thankful for my grandparents, all my family that helped, and everyone that helped form who I am. And I'm gonna do it for everybody, and
for sure.
Anyone that feels my music, I definitely got love for you.
One of my jams that I always bump from you is Mr. Never Could.
Oh yeah, Mr. Never Could.
Yeah, dude, that jam's bad, bro.
Shout out DJ Flav out there in Texas. One of my producers, my best friend, he made that beat. Mr. Never Could. Basically the story of saying we never would, and we just prove them wrong. You don't have to be a criminal. You don't have to be a gangster, a drug dealer. You don't have to do none of that to be successful. Where I come from, it's a hard streets. It's the hard streets of California, where murder's a day of life. Every day there's a murder out there unsolved, where going to jail is a way of life. You got 13, 14-year-old kids doing 5, 10-year bids. And, I just wanted to show society that just because we come from those hardships doesn't mean you have to play that game. There's other ways. And don't get me wrong, I was caught up in that for a little bit.
Yeah.
I was in the gang life.
Well, it's societal pressures too, man.
Yeah, I was in the drug life. I was in the gang life. But I knew when my friends started going to prison, my friends started dying from violence, I knew that isn't what I wanted. And the music is what saved me. We were in the studio, music. I started having fun, rocking the parties, rocking the weddings. People were digging our stuff. So I just stayed with the music, and with me being in the studio, 7 days a week, I had no time to get in trouble. So music saved my life. I wouldn't be here without music.
And when you sat down and started writing that jam, bro, was your because with me sometimes I sit down and I write and I have no idea where I'm gonna go. Like when you sat down and started writing Mr. Never Could, Mr. Never Would.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That jam's bad.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
So yeah, like I know normally you usually have an idea. Was that the case when you started writing that?
Yeah.
song?
So my creative process is a number of different ways. Sometimes I start with the title, and then I'll write the song off the title and the chorus off the title. Yeah. Sometimes I start with the chorus, and then I write the verses off the chorus, and then I come up with the title. So that jam there, it kind of just came together. Once I heard the beat, DJ Flav sent me over. Once I heard the beat, got in the lab, and I started working on the verses, it really just formed itself. This music that I'm making, if you listen to my albums, in progression, you see the growth, and I'm at the point to where now the music writes itself. I'm not forcing anything. I rarely have writer's block. I'm not saying I don't have writer's block, but I rarely have writer's block. Once I hear the beat, it already tells me what I want to say. Yeah. I hear the pattern in my head, then I just have to figure out the words. So that song kind of just created itself, and it's one of my favorite jams as well. It's on the Ill Advanced album, and you did the artwork on that. Shout out MAG.
That's
so
hella fun doing that.
Yeah. So
and it's funny because every time when we talk about one of your new projects, you say, "Hey, this is what the album's going to be called," and like. I think we rarely exchange full sentences before we come up with the whole, you know what I'm saying? We just have that vibe.
You have your idea, your eye, and your vision. And once I tell you what I see on my side,
it just comes
together. And you guys can look it up online. If you look up, starting with the Digital Dope, that was the first cover you did for me. Started with the Digital Dope all the way to now. You see these covers and it's so effortless. Like we get together. It's never a headache. It's never a challenge. I tell you exactly what I'm thinking. You have your vision and your experience on what you do. And next thing you know, we have great covers coming out. People out there in the community love it. People share it on social media. The Digital Dope album, American Luxury, The Definition, The Ill Advanced, the Gut album with Jay Lyric, what I'm saying? the DJ Legacy, the Infinite album, the new one, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
we were
saying?
just talking about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, these covers they just come together so well, and we work so well together, and I love it. I love it.
So Infinite is the newest one. It's dropped already?
Yep. It's already out online.
Let's talk about, so people have an idea about like what you were trying to do with the cover.
Okay, so Infinite. I've always been a Laker fan, being from California. I've always been a Laker fan since back in the 80s. And I've always been a big Kobe fan. And all the greats played with one team. You look at Michael Jordan, the Bulls. You look at Babe Ruth, the Yankees. You look at Kobe, the Lakers. All the great players, they stay with the same team.
Dedicated.
And they do their whole championship all the way through. So this album, number 24, Kobe was number 24. It has 8 tracks. He was also number 8, and it's 24 minutes long. So it's a 24th album, 24 minutes long, and it's infinite. The 8 symbol is on the cover. 8 sideways looks like the infinite sign. So, I mean, it just came together, and it just made itself. It was destiny, and it was meant to be. Like I said, I didn't try that hard. And Legacy is also a Laker fan. My producer, shout out DJ Legacy. My producer's a Laker fan. And we were like, bro, infinite. 8 sideways on the Laker jersey with 8 tracks, 24 minute long, and its 24th album. Like I couldn't see that. If you would have told me 5 years ago that's what was going to happen, I would have never believed you. But I mean, it's destiny. This story is writing itself, and I'm just going the direction of that story. You know what I mean?
For sure, man. I mean, yeah, it's not. That kind of stuff is hard to plan anyway.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So in 2022.
Yeah.
It's
good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like we couldn't have done that. You know what I mean? Like we couldn't have planned it.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you that my journey is writing itself. I'm following my path of my journey. It's leading me to success, and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop.
Hell yeah, man. And that's really what, this podcast is about, is like, sharing your story
12
of
rounds.
triumph,
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
going 12 rounds. Go the distance.
Go the distance, man. And let's just talk about what you got coming up, man. What's in the works for you, man?
So next October 8th, I'll be down at the drive-in in Caldwell, Idaho. We're going to be doing a mental health benefit for PTSD veterans, as well as anyone struggling with mental health in the community. Pride Mental Health is the company that I'm collabing with. And I wrote a custom song, wrote an original song for their company and their event. So that's going to be at October 8th at the Caldwell Drive-In from 2 to 8 p.m. It's also going to be a Harley bike show, and they're going to have vendors. They're going to have country, rock and roll, and I'm going to be the only hip-hop artist out there telling my story. So I got that coming up. Also, December 10th, I'll be out at the Caldwell doing a show with Carolyn Rodriguez. Shout out Coulter Bailey.
Dope House Records.
Yep, Dope House Records. Shout out Coulter Bailey for setting that up. Be out there doing a show December 10th out there at King's Legend Event Center down there in Caldwell, Idaho. So, I stay busy doing shows. I'm doing collabs. I'm working on another project, working on a documentary right now with the media company out here in Boise. So just be
excited for that.
Yeah,
too,
just
man.
be in touch, because I'm staying working. Stay working.
For sure, man. Well, man, hey, man, I appreciate you coming through for the 12 Rounds podcast, man. Soup One,
Superior One, X Music. Everywhere music is sold, online, digital, and we got physicals.
How about shout out to all your social media platforms?
Yeah. You could Facebook Soup One. You could YouTube X Music. We got a channel on there with 29, 30 videos. Also D-Boy Instagram. You know what I'm saying? My brother D-Boy out there. You know what I'm saying? We got J Lyric. We got DJ Legacy. We got Matt. You know what I'm saying? Zealous out there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working Ace Flow, working with all my local artists. Show Love, Grow Love. Dirty Shirt, Tony G, shout out to all my fam, DJ Flav out in Texas, you know what I'm saying? So just stay tuned, because we got more and more coming.
Yeah. Till next time, y'all, this is 12 Rounds podcast. Keep your chin up. Keep your hands up.
Yep, keep your hands up. Block those punches.
Yeah.